What's up, beautiful people, and welcome to another video where I say words and you listen. It is I, your protector of the realm, your steward of Gondor, your genius billionaire playboy, basic YouTuber philanthropist, SuperCliff. And if you like what you see, /here, hit that like and subscribe button, for every little bit helps in this YouTube world. And today, folks, we're going to be covering DC Future State. And in addition, me, myself, and I will be listing all the upcoming DC books and their respective creative teams that will be coming forth within this 2-month experiment through the months of January and February of 2021. Now, hold up. You're probably asking, wasn't 5G supposed to happen? Yes and no. But before I get into that, let me just explain what 5G was and what it's now become / renamed. Check it. On June 13th, back in June of 2019, God, that was like 200 years ago, an internet news site known as Bleeding Cool reported the initial mention of DC Comics planning their, in all intents and purposes, the brand new New 52, which was going to be called 5G. Following that, during 2019's New York Comic Con, DC Comics then / now ex-publisher Dan DiDio unveiled a, quote, blurry look at the official new DC Universe timeline for certain news sites. Now, keep this in mind, it was not officially revealed. Now, in addition, there was also a close-up look at the 4 generations of the DC Comics timeline, from the emergence of superheroes to the present day, with Wonder Woman being the first documented superhero in this new timeline. Clearly, this was a move to make it more aligned to the DCEU movies, with 2017's Wonder Woman being the first to take place within the movie timeline. And to be fair, that makes sense because, you know, having had made her debut in All-Star Comics issue number 8 back in 1941, she fought beside Steve Trevor during WW2. So yeah, back to the point. Therefore, it was obvious at the time that 5G was going to be the 5th generation of DC superheroes. Side note, I can guarantee you that the reason as to why the initiative was called 5G was because at the time, AT&T had just acquired the rights of DC Comics. 5G plus phones equals AT&T. Yeah, we get it. Now, here's where 5G gets a bit divisive amongst readers, and I would say people in general, because 5G was planning on going the all-new different Marvel approach to the DC landscape. What do I mean by that? Well, back in 2015, Marvel Comics got rid of their entire main comic book lineup and gave us a new set of books featuring titles like Sam Wilson's aka The Falcon as Captain America, Jane Foster's Thor, Riri Williams as the new Iron Man, and Amadeus Cho as the new Incredible Hulk. Essentially, it was a move orchestrated by Marvel to attract more readers, a more inclusive launch, if you will, in a reshaping / adding of more diversity amongst the Marvel roster. Same was set for DC. Instead of Bruce Wayne as Batman, Batman was going to be black. And then reports said that Luke Fox, son of Lucius Fox, and the current Batwing, aka Batman Iron Man, was set to take over the mantle. We also got word that Jonathan Kent, Superman's son, would take over his father's role as Superman of the DC Universe. Word also got out that Diana was going to be replaced, along with Captain Boomerang's kid, whom was set to be the one to take over the Flash mantle. So yeah, you get the point. Now, coming back to Marvel for a minute, in regards to the decisions made during the all-new different Marvel era, those were some totally awesome creative ideas, and in some ways it worked. I mean, Sam Wilson as Captain America is pretty dope, and the whole Jane Foster storyline as Thor by Jason Aaron is like one of my favorite Thor stories of all time. However, because Marvel had left in storage characters such as the original Thor and, you know, like people like Tony Stark, and because there were no other books at the time featuring said main characters, people were like, what the fuck? Where's my Bruce Banner? Where's my Steve Rogers? Where's Clint Barton? There was no choice to be had. So in short terms, all new different Marvel sort of, you know, came across as, hey, read about your favorite superhero replacements, because we're Marvel and we have to fit an agenda. And in addition, because there was no end game to how long your favorite characters wouldn't be superheroes, readers decided to read more DC. Now, one would assume that lessons during such an era were learned, except reports deemed otherwise, for allegedly such a path was what Dan DiDio / DC wanted. Therefore, it's why during this past year, you've probably have seen people raging about how 5G sucks and it's going to dismember DC to the bone and just, it's going to ruin the entire global atmosphere. Just, you know, people have been bitching about this the past maybe 18 months. I can't do math, but you get the point. And not only that, but the approach of 5G was becoming more and more inevitable when word got out that Oscar-winning John Ridley would be writing the new Batman comic after James Tynion's Batman issue 100. Plus, in Doomsday Clock issue number 12, 5G was mentioned as one of the future timelines. So yeah, money was clearly spent leading up to 5G. And when a company like DC spends money, they're not gonna not use what they paid the money for. So yeah, this shit was gonna happen no matter whatever the case was. But then everyone's favorite year, 2020, hit the dance floor. And in early February, Dan DiDio was fired from DC Comics. Then in a month's time, the COVID-19 happened, basically turning the entire world upside down. And during the quarantine segment of the spring, neither DC editorial nor creative teams involved were hyping up the concept of 5G. Plus, you had upcoming events such as Scott Snyder's Dark Knight's Death Metal, which was going to shit out a copious amount of universes. I mean, Christ, even Jim Lee didn't have anything to say. So myself sort of speculated that 5G was dead. Until about a couple of weeks ago, DC officially revealed Future State. Now, hold on to your butts because here's the official synopsis of what Future State is. Check it. DC is starting 2021 off of a bang, giving fans a glimpse into the futures of both near and far, full of current and new characters, as the publisher announced plans today for DC Future State, a 2-month line-wide event beginning in January through February 2021. The full title lineup will feature a combination of monthly and twice-monthly oversized anthologies, as well as a monthly schedule of miniseries and one-shots. DC Future State spotlights the world's greatest superheroes in fresh new roles, with all new characters taking up their iconic mantles. DC Future State features an incredible array of creative talent, combining award-winning writers and artists with new voices in the worlds of TV, movies, and animation. In March 2021, the regular DC lineup resumes, continuing existing storylines from 2020 and introducing new arcs for the year. In DC Future State, the multiverse has been saved from the brink of destruction, but the triumph of DC's heroes has shaken loose the very fabric of time and space. The final chapter of Dark Knight's Death Metal, on sale January 5th, 2021, brings new life to DC's multiverse, kicking off this glimpse into the unwritten worlds of DC's future. So there you go, beautiful people. That is the legend of 5G and what is now DC Future State. Now, let's get to those sexy books, shall we? Starting off with the Batman family titles. First, we have Future State, The Next Batman, written by John Ridley with the art by Nick Darrington and Laura Braga. This also includes Outsiders, written by Brandon Davis, Arkham Knights, written by Paul Jenkins, Batgirls, written by Vita Elia, and Gotham City Sirens, written by Paula Sabergan. And the synopsis for this book is Gotham has been taken over by the totalitarian regime of the Magistrate, but a brand new Batman, Luke Fox, has risen up to take them on. Me personally, I actually am predicting that this actually isn't Luke Fox. It's just another completely new black character created by John Ridley. Future State Harley Quinn is written by Stephanie Phillips and art by Simone DiMeo. Now, Stephanie Phillips wrote recently the Superman Man of Tomorrow digital series, which you can get for little as $1, and it was a really good book. Excited to see where she can take Harley Quinn. Future State Dark Detective, written by Marioko Tamaki and art by Dan Marr, along with some other stories such as Grifters, written by Matthew Rosenberg, and Red Hood, written by Joshua Williamson. Now, this is the Bruce Wayne-centric Batman book, and basically, Dark Detective, everyone thinks Bruce Wayne is dead, but they are wrong. This series follows Bruce Wayne on the run from the Magistrate after he attempted to take them down. Future State Robin Eternal, written by Megan Fitzmart with the art drawn by Eddie Barrows. And check it, a super drug is on its way to Gotham City, and the Magistrate wants it for their forces. Tim Drake Robin, and spoiler, will need to pull off a heist at 20,000 feet to make sure it doesn't fall into the wrong hands. Oh, and fun fact, Megan Fitzmartin is a writer on Supernatural, so if you're a fan, check it out. Future State Catwoman, written by Ram V and art by Otto Schmidt. I like Ram V, good for him. Side note, he's also writing the current Catwoman run, so yeah, more Catwoman. Future State Nightwing, written by Andrew Constant and art by Nicola Scott. Oh my Lanta, look at that Nightwing armor. So good. Love me some Nicola Scott. Future State Batman and Superman, written by Jean Lun Yang and art by Ben Oliver. This is a book I'll definitely be checking out. Moving on to the Superman family titles, we have Future State Kara Zor-El Superwoman, written by Margaret Bennett and art by Margaret Savage. I totally butchered her name and I'm sorry about that. Future State Superman A Metropolis, written by Sean Lewis and art by John Timms, as well as some other stories, like The Guardian, written by Sean Lewis and art by Cully Hammer, and Mr. Miracle, written by Brandon Easton and art by Valentine Delandro. And the synopsis is, before Superman left the planet, he entrusted Earth's safety and the Superman mantle to his son, Jonathan Kent. We'll see how well he's doing when Metropolis ends up being shrunk down into a bottle. And not everyone's gonna like that. Yeah, it's a bit Brainiac-ish. Future State Superman vs. Imperious Lex. Written by OG Mark Russell and art by Steve Powell. Lex Luthor has set up his own utopia and has enjoyed its prosperity for many years. He has now been asked by United Planets to join their ranks, but Earth's representatives, Superman and Lois Lane, are suspicious that there are ulterior motives for Lex joining the organization. And Mark Russell is hilarious, and I love comedy, so I'll definitely be checking this out. Future State Superman Worlds of War. Written by Philip Kennedy Johnson and the art done by Mikkel Jenin, along with other stories featuring Midnighter and Black Racer and Mr. Miracle. Superman Worlds of War has Superman go off planet and is now spending his time as a gladiator on Warworld, Maximus Decimus Meridius Superman. Sounds good. Future State Superman and Wonder Woman, written by Dan Waters and art by Lilia Del Duca. And we're also getting a book called Future State House of L, written by Philip Kennedy Johnson, with the art done by Scott Goliski. But unfortunately, there's not a lot of information about this book, so, there you go. Now, moving on to the Justice League / other various DC books. First one being Future State Justice League, written by Josh L. Williamson, and the art by Robson Rocha and Daniel Henricks, along with another story featuring Justice League Dark, written by Ram V. This story features an all-new incarnation of the Justice League. One of their enemies has wound up dead in the abandoned Hall of Justice, and all clues point to the Justice League doing it. Who is the real culprit? Well, you gotta read to find out, so there's your tease. Next is Future State Aquaman, written by Brandon Davis and art by Daniel Sempier. The current Aqualad, Jackson Hyde, has taken the mantle of Aquaman, and not only is he responsible for protecting the seas, but he will also be mentoring Arthur Curry and Mira's teenage daughter. The pair will get lost in an interdimensional nexus known as the Confluence. Will they be able to find their way home? Finding Nemo Aquaman. Future State Flash is written by Brandon Vaidi and art by Dale Eagleson. Wally West has been possessed by an evil entity that has escaped the Speed Force. The rest of the Flash family are here to help him, but the problem is that they have lost their powers. Future State Green Lantern, The Last Lanterns, is written by Jeffrey Thorne and drawn by Tom Ranney. The Last Lanterns, John Stewart, and a team of Green Lanterns are trapped behind enemy lines. Even worse, they've been left defenseless when their rings run out of power. Future State Immortal Wonder Woman, written by Michael W. Conrad and Becky Cloonan, with the art drawn by Jen Bartel, with other stories including Nubia, written by L.L. McKinney, and art by Olivia Martinez and Mark Morales. Immortal Wonder Woman must take on a massive threat at the end of time. This promises to be full of big action and high fantasy. In regards to the Nubia story, she will leave Paradise Island and go out in the wider world to protect people from mythic and magical threats. Future State The Legion of Superheroes, written by Brian Michael Bendis, with the art drawn by Riley Rossmo. And yeah, if you're digging what Bendis has been doing currently with the Legion, Bendis is an obvious buy. Future State Teen Titans, written by the majestic Tim Sheridan, with the art by Rafa Sandova. The original Teen Titans have formed a school in order to train and mentor the next generation of heroes. Unfortunately, that all goes out the window after a terrible battle destroys everything and tears the team apart. Animation writer Tim Sheridan will also bring Teen Titans Go character Red X into the comics for the first time. Future State Shazam, written by Tim Sheridan, with the art by Eldorado Francisca. Set years after the events of Future State, Teen Titans Billy Batson has not been well for a very long time. People have begun to speculate that he is no longer controlling Shazam. What sacrifice did he have to make in order to protect everyone? Oh, and look at that. There's Eclipso. Because, he's going to be the villain for the Black Adam movie. Future State Suicide Squad, written by Robbie Thompson and art by Gianni Ferrandez. Also, with an additional story featuring Black Adam, written by Jeremy Adams and art by Ferrano Perserin. Essentially, it's like, what if the Justice League were the Suicide Squad and they turned against their masters? But the Black Adam story sees the immortal Black Adam ruling his very own planet. Is he able to defend his planetary kingdom from a threat rooted in the past? Ooh. There's also a Future State Swamp Thing, written by Ram Vive and art by Mike Perkins. So that's cool, get some swampiness. And lastly, Future State Wonder Woman, written with the art drawn by Joelle Jones. Now check it, this is the first appearance of a brand new Wonder Woman, Yara Flor, originating from the Amazonian rainforest. She will emerge from it in order to save the Amazons from Themyscira, who are trapped in Hades' underworld. This should be the first appearance of Yara Flor. If you like what you read, she will also appear in Future State Superman and Wonder Woman, and Future State Justice League. And bada bing, bada boom. There you have it, folks. Everything you need to know about DC Future State. And overall, I think this is a fair compromise. Use what you got from 5G, wrap it up nicely, and stick a nice sexy Future State logo onto it. Use 2 months to sell these books, keep what the readers like, and then when March rolls out, we continue with more stories from our traditional cast of heroes. Either way, people, if this initiative can bring in more readers, then hey, I call that a success. So tell me guys, what are your people's thoughts on the upcoming Future State? What books are you most excited for? Do you think that DC should have even attempted such an endeavor? Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. And as always, if you like what you see here, hit that like and subscribe button. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that good jazz. And until next time, peace. Giggity goo.